Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. Thank you for joining me and Connor Grattan on this lovely weather type of afternoon at Mayor's Riverfront Park. It is a fantastic day, a fantastic temperature, only 82 degrees outside. However, we do have a little bit of a storm watch, so I will say that right now. So if something happens, to go wrong, and the worst should happen, we're going to wait a half an hour, right, if there's going to be lightning, and we'll have the game delayed, and we'll wait and see if it passes. If it's been an hour and a half, at that point, we'll go ahead and cancel the game, and we'll most likely reschedule, or it'll end, as a draw, a win for either team, depending on what the score is. So I want to get that out of the way early so you guys aren't just questioning, like, oh, hey, what's going on? So first and foremost, we'll jump right into the pregame discussions, right? So, Kalamazoo FC, right now in the division, they're 6-1-2, sitting at 21 points after the draw just the other night. And then we've got Grand Rapids FC. They're in 7th in the division at 1-5. Okay, so just like I said the other day against Fort Wayne, who came here and forced a draw against Kalamazoo, Grand Rapids absolutely will steal points here if Kalamazoo come out flat. More so because of the emotion behind this game. Like I said at the end of the last broadcast, this is a little bit of a derby. They really like to get stuck in. There's lots of emotion involved in this game. I know the coaching staff over in Grand Rapids gets their guys extremely hype every time they have to come down and play Kalamazoo. So expect a fantastic game here today. So Grand Rapids, they tied the Bucks. Right? The last two games, they've tied a couple guys. So they had Fort Wayne, and they've got fresh legs, speaking of. They tied Fort Wayne 1-1 on Sunday, this past Sunday, and they haven't played a game since. So expect lots of energy from them. And then they tied the Flint City Bucks, like I was just saying, which Kalamazoo came away with a win in the final moments of the game. However, getting a tie with the Bucks is a good result considering. So there's going to be lots of action and intensity is basically what I'm trying to say, to be a little redundant for everybody. So we got the players to watch tonight, right? So first and foremost, player to watch would be Paul Fane. He's normally the captain, and he's starting here again tonight after having a rest for a couple games. He's a monster at the back. He cleans up almost everything that comes in, and he's a great individual to provide cover for the other back to his left and right, respectively, right? And Cyrus Harmon tonight, unfortunately, isn't in the game. He's been having a little bit of groin trouble. So Kalamazoo called back in Enrique Benuelos. So Rafa's going to be in the starting lineup today. So he'll be up there causing lots of havoc because I know he's excited to be back in the team. So then we've got Grand Rapids, right? And they've only allowed 8 goals so far in their campaign, which is the second fewest, right behind the Flint City Bucks. So we know right off the jump they're very, very solid defensively, okay? Now, on the opposite end, they've only scored 10 goals in 7 games. So they're definitely kind of like backs against the wall when they kind of play, I guess is a good way to put it. But because of that, or I guess on top of that, that kind of reflects on their record, right? They've got 5 draws. So they don't really get scored on, but they don't score either. So all around, tactically, this is going to be a very hard game for Kalamazoo to really be able to break them down. And then players to watch for them, right? So their goal-scoring leader is Matthew Cornish, right? He's number 4, and that's almost half of the entire team goals. So we know that they're absolutely going to try to go through him as the number 7 today. And then their assist leader is Austin Sewetch, and he's got 3, right? So he's great at putting a ball in, great with service, and likes to get forward and do those little interchanges at the top of the box. So don't be surprised if we see that as well. And now you can hear Kalamazoo announcing the starting lineups for everybody, and they've got their mascots out there today, courtesy of Kingdom Soccer. Now another guy I want to highlight for Kalamazoo is Dara O'Riordan. So he's got the captain band today instead of Paul Fane, and he's put lots of minutes in the last couple games. He started and played the last 3, so we'll find out what he's got in the tank today. But we'll come back to that after the national anthem. All right, a national anthem over. And now I know I usually start with the starting lineups, but I wanted to save it for, this little bit of time we have right in between the national anthem and the actual kickoff. So first and foremost, we'll start with the Grand Rapids starting lineup. We've got number 1, Joe White. Number 3, Daniel Nimick. Number 5, Dominic Hart. Number 7, Matthew Cornish, as I just mentioned. We've got the number 9, James DeCosimo. We've got number 10, Eric Connerty. Number 11, TJ Ifadaruti. We've got number 15, Caden Jackman. Number 17, Maxwell Keenan. Number 19, Adam White. And number 21, O'Day Arietta. O'Day Arietta Edabarita. Excuse me. Long name there on that one. So bear with me for the broadcast trying to pronounce that all day. So then we've got Kalamazoo FC's starting lineup, right? As you may have, heard it a little in the background while I was talking a second ago. We've got number 1 in goal starting for Kalamazoo, Parker Smith, as always, doing his things back there. He's had a great couple spell of games, and he's definitely going to try to build on that because he's got lots of confidence going forward. Had some great saves last game. So then we've got that back three. We've got Adrian Lara, Paula Fain, and Robbie Baker always doing their thing. We've got Adrian Corona, who's going to be the wide player, and then Dion Travis starting on the other side. We've got Dara O'Riordan as that center mid with Chase Strine, and I would assume Strine will play underneath him a little bit, let him be the box-to-box, especially since Strine played in the back last game, so his legs might, have a little more in him than O'Riordan. Then we've got Pepe Martinez playing as that center attacking mid role underneath Rafa and Vincent Jackson. So as we were testing to last game, Connor absolutely adores Pepe being in that number 10 role, right? Because he just connects the midfield to the forwards so well. And considering the potential shape of Grand Rapids, he's going to be essential today. So everybody watch him.
Yeah, he'll be the main man watch, Miles, with him playing in that 10 role. And also, we know Grand Rapids very organized, second leading defense record, in the league so far today. They've tied 5 of their 7 matches, so they always can stay within a match. It'll be very important to not get frustrated if things don't go the way early, but need to start out with some energy and intensity, unlike we did on Friday night.
You're absolutely right, Con. We cannot come out flat tonight because Grand Rapids absolutely will punish Kalamazoo. And now as we get a look, I want to say they're playing a 4-back. They've definitely got 4 back there. 4 with a defensive mid, but because of how they're lined up on the half right here, we can't exactly tell, but we'll update you here in just a second.
Yeah, they'll probably just look to clip a ball down here to this left side.
And there goes the kickoff.
And it's to the left side.
Cornish on the ball. Cornish gets a service in early to the far post. A great ball. Looking for DeCosimo.
And Miles, I like to attest early on. These two teams. It's their second meeting, so it's the return leg of the 2 meetings on the season. Obviously, it's a derby. It's a rivalry that you spoke on earlier, and they tied 1-1, so they're very familiar foes. It'll be very interesting to see the tactics and really see in the first 10, 15 minutes. The feeling out process was already done in the first leg. I think it'll be, guns blazing here in the first 15 minutes. As
the ball is tried to be played through to the channel to Pepe Martinez over there, unable to get to the end of it. Now a big ball over the top, dealt well with by Baker. Ball with Strine, sitting deep. And he tries to clip one to the channel, find Vincent Jackson. Now Vincent Jackson tries to get a service in, but cut out early. Now Pepe Jackson. Or Pepe Martinez, excuse me. Mixing names up already. Grand Rapids carry forward. Ball on Jackman's feet. Strine's able to pick up. Find Jackson in that left channel, who tries to hit a big one up for Rafa, but they're on different pages. Rafa likes to sit more. Jackson has to be the one running through. Picked up underneath by Grand Rapids. Finds corner shot on this left side. Dealt with well by Adrian Lara to concede the throw.
They're going to be very important with Lara and Corona communicating, as we've seen Carnage get on the ball 2-3 times early. He's the main man they want to play through here on this left wing for Grand Rapids. As you tested earlier in pregame, Miles, he likes to whip in that service in the final third.
So it looks like Grand Rapids formation, everybody, if you haven't been able to see it so far. It looks to be a 4-5-1 with those wingers getting real high in transition to almost give the central striker, that number 9, James DeCosimo, a little bit of extra help up there.
Yeah, it's a 4-5-1, but 4-1-4-1 when it comes to a defensive shape, and then the count almost breaks almost to a 4-3-3 with Carnish and on this left wing with their other winger. As you can see, they're very, they like to push up here on set pieces and really try to pin teams back, it looks like here, as they try to do it to Kalamazoo.
Paul Fain with the clearance. Picked up underneath and a long shot very early by Caden Jackman. Just trying to test what Parker Smith's got, but unable to do it as it's over the bar.
Yeah, and when Grand Rapids wants to pin Kalamazoo deep there on those set pieces, it'll be very important for O'Riordan, Pepe Martinez, and Shea Strine to pick up those second balls off of Paula Fang, Robbie Baker. They're going to clean up the back pretty seamlessly. We don't see many people beat Paula Fang in the air, so picking up those second balls will be very important.
You're not wrong. He's a towering presence back there. Now, Pepe Martinez, ball was intended for, but dealt with very well by center back and captain Dominic Hart for Grand Rapids. Ball played to DeCosimo in the corner, and he's able to try to tee up Paul Fain, who kicks it out for the corner, first corner of the game. It'll be Arita Edabarita to go over and take the corner for Grand Rapids. And a whipped in service to the near post. Dealt with well by O'Riordan. The ball is kicked back out of bounds on that far side for a Kalamazoo throw. And another throw in conceded, but this one goes to Grand Rapids. Now Vincent Jackson closing down. I want a square ball in the midfield by O'Riordan. It's not something we see him do often. It's able to be cleared by Adrian Lara way up into that far left channel of Grand Rapids. Now I can't imagine that Kalamazoo won't try to pin him in here.
Yeah, first time really here in the first 10 minutes of this match. Kalamazoo got Grand Rapids on this half of the field. Definitely need to pick up this ball to maintain possession.
Oh, and Strine dispossessed. As TJ Ifarudi tries to play a ball through, but cut out. Now we've got it on this near side with Corona. Opts to go back to Strine. Closed down by Ida Ferruti. And a big ball up top looking for Rafa Benuelos. Pepe, a beautiful little shoulder touch there and able to find Rafa. Rafa unable to get him back, though. Ball with Dion Travis. Tries to play a big one into the box. Now Pepe Martinez on his left foot, tries to turn. Ball still with Pepe. Rafa. Oh, and a great diving save there by Joe White to be tested for the first time in this match.
Yeah, great feat by Pepe there on top of the box there, Miles. Definitely to beat 1-2 defenders. Could he slip in Jackson in there right in the gap? I don't know. Very tight in that space. Did well to connect to Rafa there. And good opening shot for Kalamazoo.
Cornish now. Finds help underneath. And a ball played in, but claimed very well by Parker Smith. Ball with O'Riordan, and now with Lara. Tries to find Rafa, who's able to touch it down for Pepe Martinez. Tries to find Jackson through the gap. A good win there by Benuelos. Is called back for a foul. Big ball through the channel. Dealt with very well by Robbie Baker to concede the throw. Strine able to intercept. Finds O'Riordan. Whose pass intended for Jackson doesn't get there. A lofted ball into the box, but Parker Smith deals with it well and tries to go quickly to Dion Travis on that far side. Travis carrying, looking for his options. Opts to try to ping one into Pepe's feet, but a little too much on it for him. Connerty. Connerty tries to go wide for Arietta Burita, but again, a little too much pace on it. Now ball with Cornish. Cornish dribbling into the box. Cornish, good move to beat his man, and Paula Fain is there to cover. Oh, and Paula Fain with the bridge, and then tries to clear a ball up the line, but doesn't get there.
He did all the hard work there, Miles, but excellent cover there by a Fang. Brilliant 1v1 there by Cornish in the box. He's been very involved here early.
Cornish finds Arietta, and another good service, but a better claim by Parker Smith.
It looks like Grand Rapids, they just want to get wide and whip in service.
That tells me that they have a very reliable number 9 in James DeCosimo. He's one of those old school type of strikers. Ball into his feet, plays something wide, and then rushes to get into the box to break his neck to try to finish. And there he is, laying it off underneath. And a big ball over to Cornish. Now has a 1v1. Right foot curler. Cornish, Matthew Cornish with a fantastic curler to the far post. And in about 13 minutes, excuse me, Grand Rapids FC up 1-0 on Kalamazoo.
Yeah, that's class. Number 9 for Grand Rapids, DeCormish. He held that ball there for number 11 for Grand Rapids to clip that ball over into Cornish, and he just went 1v1 at Lara. He's been doing it here in the first 15 minutes, been very dangerous, whipping in service. This time he tried his eye for goal, and I believe you couldn't put that in a postage stamp any better, Miles. You agree?
I do agree. It was a fantastic strike.
Give credit where credit's due. Great goal there from Grand Rapids to go up 1-0.
And that's what they've been trying to do all game so far. Get the ball wide to Cornish and, let him dance. This time it happened to work.
Miles, it's another slow start. Third game in 5 days. Mentally that does, you said earlier this is the first game in a week for Grand Rapids. This is Kalamazoo's third game in the last 5 days. So definitely another slow start. Definitely need to pick up the tempo here to get back in this game.
Ball with Travis on this left side. Whips in a ball to Pepe. Pepe unable to deal with it. Now ball back out to Adrian Corona, and now Lara tries to get a service in. And O'Riordan, Pepe on his right foot, goes for the spectacular and unable to make a clean contact with it. Good opportunity, though, and, good innovation by O'Riordan there to put Pepe through. Now you can hear Coach Shane Lyons instructing Dion Travis and Adrian Corona to switch their roles. We're going to swap the wings for Kalamazoo. Which I think works as well, because Corona definitely likes to be on that left side. And Travis, being right-footed, can now whip services in. Strine dropping between the center backs. Deion Travis plays a ball up the line. Now it's Vincent Jackson trying to beat his man 1v1 in the corner, but double teamed. Ball taken from him. Picked up underneath by Strine, and he's able to retain possession for Kalamazoo. Strine again. He's going to be the orchestrator today. Travis with a far post ball over to Benuelos, who gets ahead to it, but just a little too much underneath it and puts it over the bar. But that's better from Kalamazoo. Going forward, getting chances. That early service from Deion Travis is going to be crucial over here, and I think that's why Shane Lyons made the transition to swap his wings.
And also, Travis athletically can deal with corners. He's more of a right back, right wing back, right mid when it comes to, whereas Corona can be a little bit more creative in the final third. Travis will be there defensively for more stability purposes to kind of maybe give some help to Lara with Matthew Cornish, as he's already been very involved here early on. But yeah, like you said, it's been better. Whipping in service to Benuelos. You're not always trying to look to go in behind. I still want to see a little bit more combinations with Pepe right in the middle of the field. I really think that's the way to unlock everything.
Well, right now, the shape of Kalamazoo, Pepe's staying very, very high. I think, like we said, he needs to get underneath to be able to connect to, start that interchange. As he picks it up underneath here, Vincent Jackson on his right foot, opts for a strike, deflected, and almost falls to Benuelos, but dealt with very, very well by Daniel Nimick for Grand Rapids, and we've got a corner here.
It's better. That ball took a really, really, bad deflection from a goalkeeper's perspective. Had a dive to his right, did very well there to parry it, and Grand Rapids defender there to stay on his toes to force a corner.
Now we have Strine on the corner. We know can play an excellent service into the box. He's got 2 assists from him already so far. And there's the service to the far post. Deion Travis misses his touch, able to pick it up, looking for options. Ball out for a throw now. Looks like Deion Travis is going to try to put a big one into the box. Gets it to the 6. Looking for Paula Fain. Ball cleared out, but only as far as Corona. A ball with Cornish. Tries to get an interchange over on that right side. Doesn't come off, but it's too much pace on it. Now Jackson picks up the ball underneath. Finds Benuelos. Pepe. O'Riordan plays a big ball over to Benuelos. Benuelos, 1v1 with his man, finds Vincent Jackson. Vincent Jackson off the near post bar, and then cleared away again by Daniel Nimick for the second corner of the game.
Yeah, brilliant ball by O'Riordan just to open up his hips, just to take a peek, see where Benuelos was. Brilliant first touch, and then Vincent Jackson, Joe White did not move there. He was stone cold, just standing there, was beaten near post. Unfortunately, Kalamazoo inching closer and closer to that equalizer. Definitely a great opportunity there.
We'll have another service in from Strine. Opts to go far post once again. Finds Lara. Tries to head the ball towards goal, but dealt with very easily by Joe White.
Yeah, I think Lara was trying to just put that ball back to that back post where it came from, as we had 4 or 5 Kalamazoo black shirts back there.
Man, Joe White has a leg on him. From his own 18 all the way to the corner flag of Kalamazoo. TJ on the ball. Now Vincent Jackson starting to press. And Pepe able to deflect the ball out. Picked up by O'Riordan underneath and then lost once again. TJ again. Finds Cornish. Everything so far is trying to be through Cornish. Arrieta on the ball, tries to get a service in.
And why not, Miles? Cornish has been fantastic here in the first 15 minutes. He's been great going 1v1. He's always made a great decision when it comes to whipping into service or putting the ball in dangerous areas, and he's already seen eye for goal. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But Kalamazoo, the response has been better in the last 10 minutes. More positivity. Not just clipping a channel ball, but having direction and having meaning when clipping that channel ball, whether it being from the opposite end of the field like we saw from O'Riordan there. Those diagonals are definitely catching Grand Rapids out through the back.
So far what I've noticed is when they've tried to hit that big diagonal ball, they're just waiting to pick up the second ball. They're not necessarily challenging for that big one, right? They'll have one, Vincent Jackson, if he's the runner going through or something like that. But then they pick him up underneath. A near post ball from Strine finds Lara. Lara in unfamiliar territory decides to go back out to Strine. Strine takes a little slip and is dispossessed. And now Grand Rapids on the counter. Vincent Jackson sprinting back to try to delay. And ball picked up well by Paula Fain. Good tracking there by Vincent Jackson to help his boys out.
And really, TJ here on this far left side was in on goal there, Miles. If that far right player there from Grand Rapids just clips a ball, just takes
Vincent
a
Jackson
peek.
picks the ball up, goes byline, tries to get a service in. Ball still with Vincent Jackson. Opts to go near again. Ball mishandled by White, but still ends up in his hands. Sorry about that, Con.
Oh,
Go
no,
ahead.
absolutely no. Great area there. Unfortunately, Kalamazoo couldn't finish in the end of that cross. But, just if he took a peek there, seeing TJ sprint across the field, there was no one on this side for Kalamazoo. Definitely need to be mindful of the counterattacks off of set pieces, as Grand Rapids likes to go back defensively and get out on the break, especially being up 1-0. And we see they use Joe White as a set piece to put that ball in dangerous areas from the back.
Well, that's what I was just saying. The man has a leg on him. Corona going forward on this left flank. Opts to find Jackson. And it looks like it'll be Grand Rapids ball. Corona on the throw. Pepe checking out. Ball ends up with Vincent Jackson. Tries to dance past his man. Dispossessed. TJ on the ball, carrying forward. Got Cornish. Cornish opts to find Arietta Barita. And Connerty decides to go back to that far touch. And ball dispossessed by Pepe Martinez's press. Now Jackson able to carry forward. Opts to lay off for Deion Travis, who's got a little bit of space. Opts to beat his man with pace. And get a service into the far post, but a little too much on it. It looks like it'll stay in. And a big clearance from Daniel Nimick. Lara now. Big ball that other side to Corona by Strine. Great ball it is. Good little chest touchdown by Corona. Benuelos picks it up. Way underneath. Finds a penetrating ball to O'Riordan. O'Riordan, great first touch out to Corona. Now Corona's looking for a service. Goes back on his right foot, gets the service. Lara picks it up. Finds Strine. Strine tries to ping one into O'Riordan. Not enough heat on it. Now it's got Cornish, a big ball over the top, looking for his number 9, to Cosimo. Paul Lafane cuts it out. Good little spell of possession there for Kalamazoo as they carry forward with Vincent Jackson once again. On his right foot, finds O'Riordan. And then Pepe Martinez, who I can't imagine isn't offside.
Man.
And then it looks like Benuelos gets the finish, and he's not offside.
Oh.
And it looks like Kalamazoo get the equalizer. 25 minutes in. 1-1 with Benuelos coming back into the side, and he gets a goal.
Sometimes it's better to be lucky than be good. And
Look what he found.
And like what you said, Miles, it was a great spell of possession that really kind of unlocked the defense and really moved Grand Rapids. It was the first time here in the first 25 minutes we've really seen them move out of their shape. They've been in great defensive shape. And just the influence, even though Pepe Martinez got that last touch, just the influence of him being in the right space at the right time, just to knock that back into Benuelos' feet. Welcome back to the side. We haven't seen Benuelos here in the last month. Welcome back to get on the score sheet here in the first half.
You're not wrong.
And it's been a great response with Kalamazoo with their possession. And I said that earlier with having a meaning when you hit those channel balls. Strine's been clipping balls in with O'Riordan. They both have been doing very well going out wide in those chances, and it definitely unlocked the defense.
And now the refereeing team was just talking about that offside, well, lack thereof, excuse me, because the Grand Rapids players could have sworn, and even we thought that Pepe Martinez was offside, but according to the sideline judge, no way.
The ball hit a defender for Grand Rapids, so the ball hit it, and we saw it in I don't know if all the folks at home watched the Euros, but the Russia-Belgium game where a defender missed the ball and Lukaku scored, a very similar situation here where Grand Rapids defender mistimed the ball in the box and Pepe was there just to pass that back in. If the ball does hit the defender and the person is on an offside position, but they do get the ball off of that touch, they're not offside as it hits the defender. So it's a great mindful by Pepe to stay within the play to clip it back into Benuelos, and we're tied 1-1.
Now, another ball back to that channel, trying to find Vincent Jackson quickly. But Nimick is going to let it ride for a goal kick. And now that big goal kick once again. Dealt with well by Baker. Pings the ball up the field. Not able to be picked up by Benuelos. Travis finds him back. And finds Travis back. Oh, and a great tackle there by Arieta Etabarita to be able to concede a throw-in for Kalamazoo. And he had to make the tackle, too, because if he mistimes that or doesn't even attempt it, Deion Travis is around him and he's going to goal.
And, Miles, what I've already seen from Benuelos here in the first 30 minutes is that he's been a number 9 that Kalamazoo hasn't really had in the side from what we've been watching. Cyrus Harmon, Vincent Jackson, Pepe Martinez, Manu Santos, they all love to get in behind. Benuelos is great combining back to goal, kind of that old-fashioned striker you attested to with Grand Rapids, number 9 to Cosimo. Very similar style of play to just connect there, get the 1-2s, get the combinations. It really opens up and creates more dangerous opportunities for Kalamazoo as we have great 1v1 players.
And while we were just discussing, there was a yellow card given out to the Grand Rapids goalkeeper, Joe White, for dissent. On a great tackle there by O'Riordan. Unable to keep possession, but still a good tackle nonetheless. And a big ball from Connerty up to his number 9 to Cosimo, who's got Paula Fain 1v1. Tries to get a service in, but right into Parker Smith's hands. Still a decent service nonetheless, considering the circumstances. Vincent Jackson able to hold the ball up. Paulafane leaves it for his keeper. Obstacle long. Looking for Benuelos. Deion Travis tries to get a first-time ball to Vincent Jackson. On a wayward clearance by Parker Smith. Now TJ's got the ball. Opts to find to Cosimo. But is dispossessed. Now Kalamazoo can carry forward. Ball with Pepe. And a good tackle there by Dominic Hart, the captain. And then Pepe decides to foul. And then on half an hour in, we're giving them the water break, or the first one anyway. And so far, I like the response from Kalamazoo. You know, like we said, they came out a little flat. The game plan so far for Grand Rapids was to get the ball out wide to Cornish and let him do his thing. So far, we've seen he's fantastic 1v1, so we assume he's going to continue to try to break down Lara all game. But the response to that goal was fantastic. It looked so much better from Kalamazoo. The energy, the intensity, trying to get forward, building underneath, having Benuelos drop a little bit, like Connor was saying just a second ago, to really connect play if Pepe is going to stay a little higher instead of be underneath him. Constantly just well done and well adjusted by Shane Lyons, especially making the swap of the wingers. I think that really, really helped.
Yeah, and I was just going to attest to that, Miles. Just swapping Travis and Corona from that left to right side definitely it made Grand Rapids think. So it made them think of Cornish was doing very well in the first 15, 20 minutes, kind of doing anything he wanted on the ball. And just swapping those wingers just gives it another variable for Kalamazoo. when it comes to getting back into defensive shape, and they've improved a lot when it came to getting into this game and the movement of the ball, the passes, the meaning. Definitely played a big influence in getting that equalizer.
It just gives Kalamazoo such a different dynamic. Since that change, as Kalamazoo has had almost all of the possession of the ball. Travis, while, I understand this potentially will be hypocritical or ironic just in the moment, so bear with me. Travis has been getting forward, but normally is more of a defensive, type of individual, where Corona is the one that likes to get forward. And now, as we've seen plenty of times on this near side, Travis able to get forward. But if we look at that far side, Corona is constantly up there in that channel involved in the play. And that's definitely why the swap was made, Connor. You're absolutely right. Just because Dion Travis, a more defensive-minded player, is, able to deal with Cornish a little better than Corona is, because he'll be in that space more often than Corona will be.
And something we don't see every day here is a goalkeeper on a set piece at midfield.
I mean, he's got the leg for it. He's trying to put it in the box. And there it goes. But it looks like it's going to be keeper wars. And Parker Smith opts to hit a long one out. Oh, and it finds Pepe Martinez. Pepe Martinez wanted to shoot because he knew the keeper was out, but couldn't get to the end of the ball. Now, big ball again to that left channel, trying to find Benuelos. And now Robbie Baker opts to slow the game back down. Finds Benuelos dropping deep. Just trying to get the header right back over to him. Oh, and a big hit off the 50-50 there by Maxwell Keenan. Picked up underneath by Strine, but TJ's able to go forward, and now Grand Rapids are on the break. Ball on that far side flank. Corner T decides to play a ball way over to Cornish. Now Cornish finds TJ. TJ goes byline. Dealt with well by Travis. Still there. Now we've got Arrieta on the ball. On his left foot, looking for a service. Opts to find Cornish. Cornish dances around Lara. Goes back to him. Ball on Cornish. Gets a service into the far post. A good ball it is. And just barely too far for Eric Connerty. But still a fantastic service nonetheless.
Yeah, great transition defense there by Kalamazoo, especially Dion Travis, Adrian Lara tracking back on this far left side, but still have to stop that service from Cornish. It's been the most dangerous asset for Grand Rapids. Find his feet, whether it being, finding the eye for goal or whipping in a dangerous ball in the box. He's been the main man for Grand Rapids.
Oh, absolutely. And I think just the chemistry of Lara and Jackson on this right side is much, much better defensively than Corona and Lara. Just because they, right there, as the simplest way I could put it, they worked very well together to close down Cornish and TJ on that side, as well as Arrieta Ediporita. Now Joe White's going to put that big ball. TJ's able to win. Strine is able to win the second. Pepe Martinez just opts to get a big clearance up there and let Benuelos fight for the ball. But Nimick keeps his composure and heads it back to his keeper, who's able to go out very quickly through Maxwell Keenan. Now Keenan and Jackman decide to play and find Connerty. Keenan carrying forward. Pepe Martinez lays one off to Strine, who's got good feet and gets around his man. Tries to find him back, but picked out by TJ. And now Cornish trying to dance around Travis.
And Miles, anytime Grand Rapids, works it right here in the back or they pass it back, I just want Kalamazoo to press up. I want them to, Grand Grand Rapids, what we see in the first 35 minutes, if it's not Cornish's feet, it's been ugly. It's been clipping balls into the box. It's been set pieces. It hasn't been a lot of interchange. It's just been with Cornish here on this left side as he connects a pass here.
And a service whipped in. Dealt with well by Corona. And now Cornish once again on this left side. Tries to find his compatriot, Ode Arieta Edabarita, but just a little too much pace on the ball.
But just any type of negative ball should be just the trigger there just to start the press. It's something Kalamazoo's very, it's been a staple of our best offense is the defense this season.
What's the old saying? Offense sells tickets, defense wins championships, something like that. Now ball with Pepe. Too big of a touch, but able to retain. Vincent Jackson decides to play a little bit of an interchange on this right channel with Pepe Martinez. Pepe tries to dance and forces the corner. Now Strine will come up and take it. You know what I haven't seen in a couple games? That low-driven service off a corner that Pepe likes to play, especially with Paul Afane back. He's been gone the last 2 games. Why not try that and let Paul make that near-post run? Punched out by Joe White. Picked up by Vincent Jackson. Gets a snapshot back into the box. Oh, now a wayward clearance by Cornish. Ends up working out as Dominic Hart is able to get a headed clearance. Now ball with TJ. TJ opts to go centrally and finds DeCosimo. Plays TJ back. Jackman. Jackman opts to go to Connerty. Who finds Keenan.
I just want to see a little bit more pressure from Kalamazoo to force Grand Rapids into a decision.
DeCosimo goes underneath the TJ. Oh, and a ref plays advantage, though. Now a curled shot there. Attempted from DeCosimo, but Strine able to pick it up and gets the clearance. Now good header down by Benuelos, and Pepe tries to find him back. Benuelos trying to go through, but dealt with well by Hart. Now Jackson able to tackle. Ball with Jackson carrying into the box. Jackson gets a left-footed shot, and a little too much power on it. Goes over the bar. And now the ref will come back after he let that advantage go to give the yellow card to Deion Travis. That's good refereeing.
Yeah, good refereeing, unfortunately, for Travis. Just caught him a little late there. Referee did well to play advantage. But, we say it every game. Can Kalamazoo just, instead of forcing a shot, can they be a little bit more creative in the final third? You're driving 10, 15 yards away from goal. Just clip that ball back in the box. Benuelo's been very well 1v1 winning those 50-50 balls.
Good win there by O'Riordan. Then Pepe tries to play a ball up to Benuelos. And again, a big ball forward by Joe White. Tried to find Adam Knight, but dealt with very well by Robbie Baker. And he's arguing, I didn't touch that, sir. Or rather, it was off of Adam Knight's head. Should be our throw. But referee doesn't budge on his decision, as he shouldn't. Oh, and a bit of almost cheeky play there by DeCosimo, trying to find Adam Knight on the back heel, but doesn't come off. A foul there by Vincent Jackson. A big ball played up. Parker Smith comes to clean over Strine. And it looks like he got him in the back of the head, and the ref is going to halt play for it. And it looks like Parker Smith also got a little banged up in there. But immediately, Strine held the back of his head when he was down. And he's moving now up to his knees. That's at least a good sign.
Yeah, look, they'll probably pour water here on the back of his neck here.
Try to cool it off a little bit, yeah.
But Miles, I really think Kalamazoo, the way they got back in this game was keeping the ball in Grand Rapids half of the pitch, middle third, and then getting into those dangerous areas in the final thirds with, the balls in behind, the combination play. We saw more of it, and then we got the goal. Then we went back to what we did before, beginning of the match, first 15 minutes. We reverted back to the defensive shape. I think the shape needs to be a little bit more higher up the field. I think it's going to be a halftime adjustment for Kalamazoo to assert more pressure on Grand Rapids. What they like to do when you put pressure on them, they just clip balls. They're just going to clip balls into the back three, and we haven't seen the back three center backs. Fang, Baker, Lara. They've handled them all day today with those clip balls. I think more pressure asserted from Kalamazoo will create more opportunities, and definitely would be something that I would see Coach Lyons be talking to the team at halftime.
I feel like we, make some type of, comment about that almost every game. Just we want a little more, offensive of a shape, a little more interchange, holding the ball a little bit. Because most of the time when Kalamazoo scores, it's like that. It's a good spell of possession. It's good movement by the attackers and the wide guys, and the ball goes through, and, we get a service. And now it looks like, because of the head injury, Sam Layton is going to come into the game for Strine.
Hopefully Strine is okay. Hopefully it's just a stinger.
Oh, and Matthew Cornish gets a header in, but good reaction clearance by Lara. Cornish again on this left side. Closed down by Travis. Oh, and Cornish almost beats Travis with the nutmeg. I don't count him unless they actually retain possession on the other side. He tried to.
Yeah, Travis did well there to recover. Great defensive awareness there by Lara to be in the right position at the right time when that header came into the box.
Layton able to try to cut that throw in out as it was trying to be played in deep. Ball on TJ now, center of the park. Opts to swing over, but it looks like Corona cuts it out as that ball is meant for Keenan. Now Vincent Jackson in a foot race with TJ. Cuts it back. Decides to get a big one into the box. Ball is over the top now. Benuelos able to turn. Looking for options. Finds Pepe under him. Pepe cuts it back. Pepe Martinez opts to go all the way back to Layton. Layton top of the box. Opts to have a shot. Gets deflected. Now Adam Knight carrying forward. And you guys can't see, but immediately when that ball was played forward, my compatriot here, Connor, puts his hand up because he knew right away that DeCosimo was offside. Baker carrying forward. Tackled from behind. And Benuelos is asking, like, hey, man, I dropped deep for you. I've got lots of space. Now Benuelos. Oh. Parker Smith lets the ball roll into his box so he can distribute accordingly and finds a feint. A feint to O'Riordan. O'Riordan to Travis. Ball touches the ground before his foot and rolls right underneath. Now O'Riordan trying to carry forward, but would have been a very high tackle if O'Riordan would have caught him. But now ball's back in with Benuelos. Benuelos in a shoving match there with Daniel Nimick, trying to find Jackson. Ball with Leighton. Finds O'Riordan. Little cheeky touch from O'Riordan trying to find Pepe. TJ is able to cut it out now. Ball with Cornish carrying forward. Leighton tries to close him down, but Cornish has a little bit more pace. Opts to cut it back. And he finds his number 10, Connerty, who opts to go all the way across the far side to Keenan, who tries a first-time ball into the box, but on a different page than DeCosimo. And as we are in the third minute of extra time, Connor, what do you think is what's going to be the way for Grand Rapids to try to orchestrate some other form of attack besides getting the ball to Cornish out left? Because he's got to be exhausted. Everything's trying to come through him.
It's going to be playing DeCosimo and playing off of him. I think there's been a little bit disconnect. From our center backs with O'Riordan and now Leighton's in the game. There's been a lot of space right in between there. I think Grand Rapids can take advantage of with DeCosimo getting either TJ or Connerty combining with him would be, I think, the
Vincent Jackson into the box, and then
brilliant.
Benuelos, a beautiful finish off of Vincent Jackson's service. Something out of nothing, very well done. Kalamazoo right before the break gets their second goal, goes into the lead 2-1.
Yeah, caught Grand Rapids napping there. Travis goes end line, and when you're end line, what's the most dangerous ball, Miles? You play it back across goal at the 6, because there's always if you're a number 9, that's where you need to be. And Benuelos, perfect number 9, perfect position. We call that a poacher's goal. Great positioning, and just calmly passes into the right corner to put Kalamazoo up 2-1. He's been in the right place at the right time. Both number 9 goals being the poacher to get the brace for Kalamazoo in the first half.
What a day back it is for Enrique Benuelos. Hasn't played in a while. Like you said, Connor, it's been about a month since we've seen him in the side. Obviously been here training, doing his thing. Gets his opportunity to come on, make the start for Kalamazoo, and with the last kick of the half, he puts it into the back of the net. And now we have it. End of the first half for this fantastic game between Kalamazoo and Grand Rapids FC. The last kick, like I just said, Kalamazoo goes up 2-1 at the break. There'll be lots more to come here in the second half, I would assume. And hopefully, weather permitting, we'll be able to see another 45 minutes. Hello, everybody, and welcome back for this second half of Kalamazoo FC versus Grand Rapids FC. And so far, it's been a pretty decent game from each side. We've been able to tell early the game plan of Grand Rapids, get the ball wide to Cornish and let him do his thing. Kalamazoo, it's been a little different just because they've had, a different type of striker in the team today with Enrique Benuelos, and he's got a brace on the day, so it's been working for him so far. Connor, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to the adjustments for both sides coming out. Will Grand Rapids continue to get the ball wide with Cornish, or will they try to, maybe a little bit more creative in the final third to give Kalamazoo problems? We will see. And also Kalamazoo, I think getting the third goal to really, as you attested at pregame, Miles, with Grand Rapids and their scoring and abilities. They're not used to playing down from behind. They have 5 ties in seven fixtures. They're not used to coming from behind when it comes to being in matches. So I think if Kalamazoo gets the third, it really kind of separates themselves, and it really will be very important for them to do so. And I think they need to, get the pressure, get the ball in the final third, and create their opportunities.
You're absolutely right. As we see the kickoff, and Robbie Baker opts to go long, trying to find Deion Travis early on that right side. Oh, and then Pepe Martinez trying to run through. Ball put under pressure by Corona. And then a wayward clearance finds O'Riordan, finds Layton.
And Miles, we already see Kalamazoo starting this half with numbers on this half of the field, something I tested to before halftime.
Oh, and Travis trying to get an early service in, but doesn't catch it right, just right along the ground. But you're right. They immediately, tried to step up and put him under pressure, as we saw from Corona when that ball came all the way over to this near side with Maxwell Keenan. Pepe Martinez trying to find an option. Opts to dance instead. Finds Layton back. And then Benuelos tries a chipped ball through to Jackson. Doesn't come off. Ball with Vincent Jackson. A good battle over there. Tries to turn his man. Able to get through them both. Well done by Vincent Jackson, and then gets the foul and a dangerous set play opportunity here for Kalamazoo early into the second half.
Yeah, great turn there. Great move there to beat the defender there by Vincent Jackson, and puts Kalamazoo here in a dangerous situation. Let's see what they can do to capitalize on it.
I think that's the first ref we've seen with spray in his pocket. Now we've got Dara O'Riordan over this free kick. Opts to go near post. Cut out very, very well by Dominic Hart. Ball again with O'Riordan. Tries a left-footed snapshot. Now we've got Deion Travis on it. And ball able to be cleared by TJ. Throw for Kalamazoo FC.
Yeah, Miles, if you're O'Riordan, you got to beat the first man. You got to put that ball there in the near post. Got to be able to beat that first man.
Ball with O'Riordan again. A little bit of fancy play from Travis. And then Corona gets the shot off, but saved by Joe White. It was going out of bounds anyway, per the deflection, but he saves the corner.
A very positive 1-2 combination there with Jackson and Corona to break down that right side of the defense for Grand Rapids. Definitely encouraging to see to start the second half.
Robbie Baker locks his ankle, gets that clearance. Ball closed down well by Layton. Keenan tries to split O'Riordan and Layton to find TJ behind him. TJ, however, still ends up with the ball. Big ball to the far post, finding Adam Knight. Baker and Knight entangled and able to play out through Corona. Kalamazoo on the break now. Corona finds Benuelos on the left. Benuelos gets a big ball over the top to Jackson in the box. Jackson, and has a little push into the back of the defender, and unfortunately, that's going to be called every time by the ref. And now, Grand Rapids able to play out. Finds DeCosimo. DeCosimo to Knight. Back to DeCosimo. Knight gets a service in, goes all the way through. And a missed clearance there from Deion Travis, and lots of yells from Grand Rapids as they're looking for the handball for it. And after that one, Shane Lyons goes ahead and tells Ryan Halloran, go warm up. Seems like Travis, all the minutes on his legs the last 2 games, has done what he can. And it'll most likely be a like-for-like switch for Halloran and Deion Travis.
And Miles, it's just too easy. It's just too easy there for Grand Rapids to combine on this right side there to get that service in. That was just a little bit too easy there. You want to see a little bit more intensity from the backside for Kalamazoo.
Benuelos fighting with Knight on this near side. Knight's able to carry forward, able to beat Corona, but Baker able to pick it off. And DeCosimo asked for the foul, saying he was being held, so he couldn't get to that ball. Now it also looks like we have Daniel Wright, the man from Duke, coming into the game, putting his kid on. I'm excited to see what he'll bring to the game, a little bit of dynamism. Getting his instructions there. Looks like Adam Knight's going to play this ball into the far post. Doesn't get enough whip on it, but still finds the head of Daniel Nimick. Now it looks like that will be Enrique Benuelos' last touch of the ball for the day. Had a fantastic game so far. Fans giving him a round of applause for his brace.
Yeah, Miles, first game back from injury to, just the pockets of space, where he was in front of goal, a true number 9, played well today to put Kalamazoo up 2-1. Was always in the right place at the right time.
DeCosimo able to pick up. Now Deion Travis in a foot race. And a big ball played through. TJ trying to get to the end of it. Ends up doing just that, waiting for his options. Ball intercepted by Layton. Ref says it's just a good, heavy piece of play. And Paula Fain deals with the ball into the box. O'Riordan clipped on his heels. And immediately, yellow card given to Eric Connerty, as he knew exactly what he was doing, trying to stop that counter tactical foul.
And Miles, I think with Daniel Wright coming to the game, he brings a lot of creativity. He's great 1v1. Now, basically with him, being up front, it'll be very intriguing to see what he can do with the ball at his feet to put pressure on these Grand Rapids defense, as he looks like he's on the right side here.
Not only being a good 1v1 attacker, he's got great vision. He's got great vision forward. And then we've got Layton trying to get a ball over there. And I'm just attesting to the big ball that he played over to Manu Santos the other night that ended up winning the game for Kalamazoo. It was, I don't know what sport you want me to refer it to as, but it's more so of a hockey assist. Well, then a very wayward touch by Jackson, but he's able to keep the ball, able to turn and try to go forward. Oh, and now a missed touch by Paula Fain. Oh, and DeCosimo puts a big body into Paula Fain and immediately starts complaining to the ref, saying it's not a foul.
And I think DeCosimo was mad with Paul kind of giving him almost a swim move to get around to that first ball, going to the ball. He wanted the foul on that. And then with retaliation, sent Paul to the ground.
DeCosimo's a big boy, one, so that is a challenge you should be ready for in the first place, right? How many center backs do you know that aren't of, big body? Two, as a forward, you have to expect that there's going to be that center back on your back at all times, right? You have to be ready for that. Oh, and then a push in the back by TJ on Corona here on this left side.
And that's just a silly foul. His back is, 30, 35 yards from goal. He had nowhere to go but back. He had coverage. Just a silly foul. Now it gives Kalamazoo a great set-piece opportunity.
Now it looks like O'Riordan will be aiming for Paula Fain. Daniel Wright makes the near post run. Pepe does the same. Lofts one in. Oh, and then a quick snapshot from Sam Layton, but I think it was called for the push in the back there by Robbie Baker. Trying to get a little bit of separation makes it much too obvious.
But just a test of discipline, from a side of Grand Rapids and their quality coming into this match. Definitely a little undisciplined to start the second half.
One O'Riordan dispossessed in the final third. Adam Knight gets a service in, looking far post for Keenan. Doesn't come off. Pepe tries to get a touchdown. And O'Riordan and Jackson closing down now. Ball with Hart. Hart goes all the way back to his keeper and lets him distribute because we know he's got a leg. Tries to go that side with Deion Travis. Oh, and Daniel Wright getting his first touch of the game. Attempted to be a cheeky one, but ends up giving the ball back to Grand Rapids. Ball out to Keenan. Plays a big ball into the box, trying to find DeCosimo, who tries to lay a header down for TJ running through. Puts a little too much on it. Doesn't get the angle right into Parker Smith's hands. Pepe Martinez starting the press. And a big ball down the channel. Again, looking for DeCosimo. Dealt with by Robbie Baker. Adrian Corona is able to get a touchdown and a great turn now going forward. Adrian Corona. Oh, and a back heel attempted by Vincent Jackson. If it would have come off, Kalamazoo would have been in a great spot to go on the break. Layton. Oh, and Layton had hands in his back, but no call from the referee. DeCosimo trying to beat Paula Fain. Paula Fain lets it ride out for a goal kick. That's good defending.
That's textbook. That's textbook defending, textbook cover. Layton unfortunately looked like a foul there in the middle of the park. But a Fang took care of it with DeCosimo on his back. Anyone out there want to teach young defenders how to defend? Watch Paula Fang. The way he moves his hips, the way he gets his body in front of the striker. He's great 1v1.
Robbie opts for the big ball up to Jackson. Tried to be picked up underneath by Kalamazoo, and it is. Layton in a fantastic spot. Tries to play it back to Jackson, but too much on it. You know whose name we haven't been able to say so far, or at least I haven't? I feel like he's been, not really in the second half so far for Grand Rapids. That'd be Cornish. He was so active in the first half.
And Travis has been basically dropped off on him, and it's almost it's transitioned to a 4-back, right wing back. He's been man marking him pretty much, and we've seen it from Grand Rapids, very flat. The play hasn't been inspiring. It's been very, long balls, trying to play off to Cosimo, and we attest that to the tactical change of throwing Deion Travis out there on Cornish, as he was the main man in the first half. That unlocked a lot of things for Grand Rapids.
Oh, and then over the back of Pepe Martinez, but no call there from the ref. Corona able to pick up, but a wayward touch as the ball's spinning over his foot. But O'Riordan gets a good tackle in, and now Adam Knight still able to keep possession of the ball. Adam Knight still carrying forward, but foul there by O'Riordan.
Miles, what do you want Pepe to do there? the man's on his back.
There's not much you can do, really. As someone who's dealt with 50-50s and challenges like that before, there's not a lot you can do except for jump early. If Pepe jumps for that ball a little earlier than he does, there's no chance of that defender, getting over his back to win that ball. As you can see, we had some subs come in for Grand Rapids. And the number 4, Tony Deacon, and then number 23, Floris Van Nijnenten. I apologize for butchering his name. I probably will continue, so bear with me, everybody. Good ball in, but cut out at the near post by O'Riordan, who decides to just play a big ball downfield, chased down by Daniel Wright, but just lets Kalamazoo come out and get their shape. Now we have another sub here for Grand Rapids. It'll be number 88, Lito, or Luis, but he likes to go by Lito, Esquivel. Leighton chips the ball over the top, and a great ball it was. Pepe Martinez able to carry forward. Pepe Martinez into the box. Pepe Martinez crowded out, ran out of real estate. Oh, but a good tackle. Pepe Martinez. Jackson tries to get a header back to him. Does. Pepe Martinez. Oh, and Pepe Martinez tries a shot, but kicks number 4, Tony Deacon, right in the shin. And we could hear it all from up here. A big scream from Tony Deacon. Just came onto the field. Hopefully he's okay. And it was the collision with Pepe trying to get his shot away. And as Deacon tackled the ball away, Pepe was already swinging and caught him in the leg. Completely accidental, but when Tony Deacon's staying down here. Trainer there assessing that right ankle. But we could definitely audibly hear him from up here. He's up walking at least, that's good. Definitely got a limp to him though. and it seems that he'll be okay.
Yeah, fun fact about Tony Deacon, he's 36 years of age.
Doesn't matter how old you are, if you can still play, you might as well, right?
Absolutely.
Now Deacon back into the game for Grand Rapids. Good to see that he can carry on.
And luckily for Pepe, he didn't get carded. And I think we'll see some added chippiness in response to that tackle.
Now it looks like they've moved Cornish over to this right side as well, this near touch.
Yeah,
I think that's probably,
get him more involved in the game.
I was going to say get him away from Travis. They move Travis right, swap your wings, put Cornish on this side. It was working for him earlier going up against Corona just because he had that little bit of extra space. So we'll see how it works out for him going forward this last 25 minutes. Cornish on the ball here now. Opts to find a big one up to DeCosimo. O'Riordan able to keep that ball in. Very well done. Now Leighton finds Travis with space in front of him. Deion Travis opts to have a hit. Deion Travis, a good hit it was. Able to be parried well by Joe White. Oh, which I was about to say was able to keep that in, but the sideline judge on that side says, no, you were not, and it's going to be a corner Kalamazoo.
Yeah, credit for Deion Travis. You see 2-3 defenders for Grand Rapids dropping off, not picking up the ball. Why not have a crack?
Yeah, absolutely. Now it looks like Daniel White and Vincent Jackson are going to be on this corner. That's what I would assume they would opt to go short. And they do. A good ball to O'Riordan, first time shot. All the pace taken off of it, though, as it is deflected. Now Lito trying to play forward through Flores, but able to be intercepted by O'Riordan, and then Pepe Martinez on this left side is caught offside. Oh, big ball played forward. Trying to find TJ up there. Parker Smith able to deal with it, though.
And really, that's all Grand Rapids really been trying to accomplish here early in the second half. In the first 20 minutes, just been, clipping a long ball in. But Kalamazoo's been doing very well on staying organized, communicating, and not letting the ball, travel right over them. And that's more positive from Kalamazoo to force that back touch there by Joe Wright. Vincent Jackson going at a sprint there. Starting that press, just that more pressure what we tested to start beginning the second half that we wanted to see at Kalamazoo.
Oh, and a great touch there by Nimick. Now Joe White looking like he's going to play the big ball, and he does. Finds Lito as he tries to flick forward for DeCosimo. Finds him back. Lito, first time shot, left foot. Would have been a great strike if not for Paula Fain being in the way. Ball on TJ now. Daniel White closes down well. Tracking all the way back.
And can Kalamazoo just go there on that back pass just to get out of their back half, out of their defensive third? Just inviting a lot of pressure right now.
Ball on Cornish. Cornish opts to go wide, but touch takes him out of bounds. Now Pepe gets a flick on as O'Riordan runs onto it and then pressed very quickly by Vincent Jackson. And another throw, and it'll be for Kalamazoo. Vincent Jackson trying to play with O'Riordan. Gets one back. Vincent Jackson byline. Gets the ball back across. Pepe Martinez at the 6. Pepe off the bar. I think he just needs a little bit of composure there. Doesn't need to hit it so hard.
It's just technique. The first touch, unfortunately, let him down. The ball set up on him. Side of the foot puts that in the back of the net. He decided to go with his laces. Brilliant little combination play there from Vincent Jackson O'Riordan. Been preaching it the last 2 or 3 games when you break down the defender, go 2v1 on the wing there. And we've seen it earlier with Kalamazoo, just bringing the ball back to the 6, and unfortunately Pepe couldn't get that final touch.
And like you said, tempers flaring a little bit at the end of this game. About 18 or so minutes to go, including stoppage. Or not including stoppage, excuse me. Now it looks like we've got Manu and DeLacio that just put their kits on, so we'll see some changes here for Kalamazoo. The final stages of the match. I would assume Manu's going for Vincent Jackson up top. He's putting a good shift. Lots of running from him. And I'd also assume DeLacio most likely going for O'Riordan, as he's been all over the pitch today.
Yeah, Vincent Jackson did well today in creating 1v1 opportunities, link-up play. Would have gotten the assist there if Pepe would have finished it. He was a very integral part of keeping the ball, and he did well today in the shift. Now we get a treat. It's always a treat to see Manu Santos, especially going at tired defenders. It's a 73rd minute, and it's a tactic Lyons has been using all year. His lower center of gravity, his creativity and innovation one-on-one, just the influence he provides to the match. It's always a privilege to see, and why he's been great. Finding an equalizer against Toledo last week, and then also providing the assist against Flint City.
Now Manu with fresh legs decides to start the press for Kalamazoo. Now ball played up the channel. Finds TJ. TJ opts to hold it up, go underneath the Leto. Leto lays one off. We got Cornish, top of the box. Cornish gets a shot off, but closed down very quickly and deflected or blocked, whatever word you want to use, by Robbie Baker. Puts the ball over the bar, and a resulting corner for Grand Rapids.
And Miles, was the first time we've seen Grand Rapids really combine and not really try to clip a ball into the box. And it's the second or third time we've seen Lido get on the ball and really just dictate play. Did very well done there to, as we see a ball.
Now
should have been finished, at least put it on frame there.
On a tackle from behind from number 23, Floris Van Nijnanten, but he definitely got the ball there and is protesting it with the referee. And as you can see, definitely frustrated with that one. Kicks the ball up in the air, resulting in a yellow card.
And if I'm Kalamazoo, I go at him.
Now that he's frustrated, yeah. It looks like Cornish has come out of the game as well, put in a good shift for Grand Rapids tonight. And so there comes DeLacio into the game, and it looks like he's going to go for Deion Travis, as now there's a water break. And there was a substitution for Grand Rapids as well. Cornish coming out for number 12, Milos Christoforou. Good name. Milos Miles, I like that. Now after the water break, we're back in. Robbie Baker opts for a big ball to the channel, trying to find Daniel Wright, but unable to get it there. But Kalamazoo will attempt to pin GR in, not to let him out. And DeLacio able to carry forward, beats one tackle, but TJ comes back and gets the second one. Now DeCosimo on the ball. Gets a ball to their number 12, which is called offside. And I wish we had some type of instant replay of VAR, because that one was very, very close, ladies and gentlemen. A great little header down by DeCosimo.
Did well. Being the target man did well there just to settle it and flick it on.
And a good finish there from Christoforou as well.
So now if you're the back three for Kalamazoo, your coach lines, you got to, okay, we're up 2-1. Let's settle it down. You man mark DeCosimo. That's been the main man they've been trying to feed.
I feel like so far Paul Fane's been dealing with it pretty well.
Yes, that was the first time we actually saw him not win the 50-50.
Now we have another substitution for Grand Rapids. Number 25, Vianney Mpomo Ambeja. Oh, and then Daniel Wright thrown to the ground there a little bit, but ref says, come on, guys, keep it clean. Well, then Daniel Wright once again hits the ground very hard after a 50-50 challenge under Daniel Nimick. Daniels going at each other now. Now service into the box via Joe White. Goes all the way through. Resulting in a corner for Grand Rapids.
And Miles, this keeper is Joe White here at the halfway line. If I'm Kalamazoo, we pick up this ball, we counter.
You're hoping somebody takes one out of Poland's book. Try to get that that big goal as we see the corner in from Lito. I just realized I said Poland.
Czech Republic.
Yeah, thank you.
I knew you meant. You're fine.
I don't think we have a Patrick Schick in our team, but... Oh, and then a card given to Parker Smith for time wasting, but it just put the ball down. That was, personally, I feel excessive, but, hands in the back there on Daniel Wright, but not called, or advantage given. Pepe able to carry forward. And a no call on Pepe, but O'Riordan able to pick it up. Finds Manu. Manu, a great first touch, but a little heavy to try to get around his man. Now a big ball forward once again by Joe White. And headed away from Parker Smith. That's well done. Lito on the ball. And Pomo uses his pace to try to beat DeLacio. Ends up resulting in a corner. And now another sub for Kalamazoo. It looks like Halloran will be entering the game for Pepe Martinez. And that'll most likely switch the shape for Kalamazoo as Halloran mainly will play on that right side.
I think it moves Manu Santos up the pitch and Halloran on that right side. That's been Grand Rapids' way of attack here in the last 5-10 minutes and creating these opportunities and the set pieces.
Now, Lito opts to try to get a near post ball in, but O'Riordan deals with it well. On a ball played through. Oh, and a good block there off a quick snapshot from Adrian Lara to put the ball into his keeper's hands. Lito wins the header. And Layton's under there to clean it up. Now Daniel Wright chasing.
You know, we really need to see Kalamazoo win the first, second balls here. It's going to be very important here in the last 10 minutes.
It's been difficult for them to hold the ball up, at least up the field, since Benuelos has come out of the game. He's a very good presence in the air up there. On Lito carrying forward, a little bit of trickery. Aims to go wide for Empomo Ambeja, who gets a service in. Oh, and actually, I think it may have been more of a shot than a service, and it wasn't too far away.
And Miles, that's what happens when you're so deep defensively, inviting this much pressure. You're just, you know, it's hard to get out sometimes. You know, really picking up the first and second balls here to move the ball and move the shape down the field be very imperative for Kalamazoo.
Now we can see Layton move up the pitch to try to win those headers for Kalamazoo. Now Halloran tracking his man wide. And Halloran opts to clear. Chased down by Manu Santos. A good composure there from Captain Dominic Hart to just play his keeper back. And a big ball put into the box by number 15, Caden Jackman, who's playing part of that back three now for Grand Rapids.
Yeah, and Grand Rapids definitely shifting shapes here, really going with the 3-5-2. Definitely moved shape there and have two strikers now.
And they feel the momentum. They're trying to get an equalizer here in the last 5 minutes. And corner given once again to Grand Rapids. Halloran arguing it, though. Ball played into the box, dealt with well by Afane. Put back into the mixer by Hart. Daniel Wright challenges. Paul Afane wins again, and Leighton able to get the clearance off. Joe White, their keeper, very, very high.
And Miles, we see Grand Rapids just impeding there.
Oh, and a ball smashed over the bar by number 4, Tony Deacon. But I would agree with you that you're strictly...
There's a lot of chippiness, a lot of physicality, and, that's blatant there. That's just blatant. He's just running right in front of Daniel Wright to give, Joe White more time to clip that ball in behind.
I would agree. Classic obstruction, but the ref doesn't see it that way. Now the difference, everybody, for why Connor and I are going on about that is now... Normally shielding a ball, right, you have to have the ball in your possession, and that's why the term is called shielding instead. But if you're nowhere near the ball, strictly blocking somebody off, we call it impeding or obstruction. Textbook there on Daniel Wright. And a great tackle there by Halloran to now give possession to Kalamazoo.
You see the bench there get into it. Great tackle there by Halloran just to create some more energy, just a little bit of life here in the last 5 minutes that Kalamazoo needs to hang on to this lead.
And now we'll see Spencer Straka coming to the game for Dar O'Riordan, and the referee makes him go off on that far side. But I like the sub from Straka coming in at the last 3 or so minutes of the game, because Straka is a target man type of forward. He'll be the one that they'll try to play out through now. Everything will be to his feet or his chest and let him hold the ball up because of his strength. Now a big throw up the line by Halloran, aiming for Straka. TJ carrying forward. Opts to go wide to Nimick. Nimick on his left foot. Finds Lito, top of the box. Lito tries to play a ball in, but miscommunication there by Grand Rapids and able to be cleared.
Grand Rapids has been very lively here in the last 15 minutes. Putting all the pressure on Kalamazoo.
Nimick heads the ball down. Ball with TJ. Gets a low, hard service in, but beautiful defending there by Robbie Baker. The sliding tackle to block that service coming into the box. Results in a throw, and it looks like Nimick's going to be on it. Opts for the long one. Not too long, though. And then a foul by Grand Rapids for the hands in the back. Lets Kalamazoo able to play out.
And this game is shaping, even though Grand Rapids down, it's the way they want to play. Pin Kalamazoo back defensively, hit long balls and long services in behind. Kalamazoo's done well to handle it, though, so far.
TJ dispossessed by DeLacio. Ball ends up being kept by Grand Rapids. Oh, and a little bit of skill attempted there by DeCosimo. Doesn't come off. Gives Robbie Baker the throw-in, who decides to leave it for Halloran just because he's got that big throw, so he's going to try to throw Kalamazoo out of pressure. They're going to aim for Straka's head, who I would assume is going to try to get a chipped ball, or a flicked ball, excuse me, to Manu. Doesn't come off, though. Now Straka holding the ball up right here at the half. Straka doing a very well job holding that up. Ball on Daniel Wright's feet. It gets crowded out. Now with Lito. Opts for a big ball over the top. Paula Fain deals with it well. Has to get up quickly, though. Oh, and then a foul from DeLacio on TJ that earns him a yellow card as the clock strikes 90 minutes.
And now we see all the bodies get forward here. Even the goalkeeper for Grand Rapids.
He wants to be Allison Becker here. See if he can snatch a goal from Kalamazoo here at the death.
If you're Kalamazoo, you stay disciplined. You communicate.
Ball in by Lito, who actually aims for that far post over there. And he actually got a header on it, Joe White. Cosimo touched the ball down. Finds its way to Corona, who just gets a big clearance, and now Manu Santos chasing it down. Manu Santos with a little bit of pace on it. A good touch there by Nimick once again. Great feed over here by him all game. Now Lito finds the ball. Opts for a big one. Trying to find DeCosimo. Nimick once again. Cristoforu. Oh, and then given as a foul on Robbie Baker.
Yeah, definitely was looking for that, Miles. I knew Baker was going to come in hard from the back. You know, Kalamazoo needs to stay disciplined here. Playing in a Grand Rapids game plan, set pieces, into dangerous opportunities.
Ball in from Lito to the far post once again. And now Daniel Wright able to carry forward. And everybody was yelling at him in the stands to go ahead and shoot since Joe White was out. His first touch was a little too big to be able to get something else on it. Now Straka on the ball. Now Halloran carrying forward. Tries to find Daniel Wright's feet instead of shooting the big ball, but ends up with Joe White. And a good header by Layton there to force the ball back out. Now ball on Lito. Opts for the big one, which is dealt with by Halloran. And a great touch there by Daniel Wright, able to find Straka on this left side, and then is immediately fouled. Ref going with advantage. And Manu Santos now 2v1 in on goal, but ref calls it all the way back. Oh, it was offside. Excuse me, where I'm standing, I can't see the linesman, but offside on Manu Santos as that ball was played across. And Lito going through on that challenge for Daniel Wright ends up on the ground getting hurt.
Definitely an entertaining change of events there, Miles. Grand Rapids with, creating as many opportunities as honestly they've controlled the tempo here in the last 15, 20 minutes of this game. Pinned Kalamazoo back. That was the first real kind of taste of Kalamazoo getting on the break and creating some positivity there, unfortunately, with Lito from Grand Rapids getting injured here. Hopefully he's okay.
Yeah, it looks like the trainer's bringing him off. as number 24, Ryan Dubois, comes in as his substitute. Now Parker Smith opts to just play a big ball.
If I'm Parker, I just put it to a corner.
That's exactly what he did. Tries to find Straka to just hold it in that corner over there. Oh, and a wayward first touch there by Ryan Dubois ends up resulting in Kalamazoo's throw-in. And now Halloran comes over to take the big throw, and Corona is carded for leaving that ball for Halloran. I've never seen that one before, but
yeah,
Halloran opts to take the big throw to just hold him in the corner. Straka able to pick it up, and that's exactly what he tries to do. Oh, and that's a high tackle on Straka. Not called, though. Ref is in a good spot. Now a big ball up the channel, dealt with well by Baker. And DeCosimo heads the ball in. Now Parker Smith's out to claim instead of Mpobo. And now Paula Fain is down on this near side of the field. And he has the trainer come on for him to check if he's okay. Seems like he got, an elbow to the ribs or so there.
Yeah, we've seen the physicality and the chippiness really increase here in the second half, Miles.
As we enter the 96th minute officially. Oh, and then number 3, Daniel Nimick, because of the frustration, ends up getting 2 yellows in about the same amount of seconds.
I believe he was
from the center ref.
I believe he was the one that fouled Paula Fang in the box, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, he just got a yellow, and then he was given a red.
And, Kalamazoo came up to approach him. In regards to that, it was a high elbow, uncalled for. Definitely not good for the game, not what you want to see. But nonetheless, it's...
if you're trying to chase the game, you just can't let yourself get frustrated. The refs have been pretty good, obviously. We're about to enter the 97th minute of play, right, about adding time onto the game. So if you know that the time is going to be added back on, there's no reason for you to get, chippy with the referees themselves just because it's going to come back. And then I spoke too soon. The ref decides to end the game 97 minutes in. And after a very entertaining first half, been really back and forth, Kalamazoo ends up winning the game. End of the day, 2-1 after 97 minutes of an aggressive, chippy type of derby.
Yeah, it's a good way for Kalamazoo to get the 3 points, especially coming in after getting a point the other night against Fort Wayne. Points left on the field there Friday night. Great response, and going down 1-0 early. Great response from Kalamazoo to get those 2 goals before the end of the first half. And just to see out the points. Grand Rapids, they did well in, creating that pressure there in the last 15, 20 minutes, putting Kalamazoo under all sorts of pressure with many set-piece opportunities and really dictated the tempo and controlled most of that second half. But, the substitutions came in a big play. Ryan Halloran coming in, Manu Santos with his pace as well. DeLacio coming in from a defensive standpoint. Leighton coming in the first half from a defensive physicality standpoint. And then, Kalamazoo, they see it out. Good 3 points in this derby, and definitely looking forward to the next match. Definitely good 3 points.
Especially having to, fight through a little bit of adversity, that being the
Exactly.
fatigue, right? Grand Rapids had the time to rest. Kalamazoo has been playing lots of games and not a lot of time back-to-back. There's been lots of rotations, so on and so forth. So they've really had to, really stick to their diet, stick to the training plans, stick to recovery plans more than anything to be able to see out these type of wins. And actually, speaking of recovery, there's a good time to give our sponsors a nice shout-out and thank you, U.S. Cryotherapy. As I've said the last couple games, you will definitely be seeing the lads a little later on in the week to make sure they are rested, so on and so forth, because there's lots of more games to come this next week and a half or so. So I'd also like to give that thank you and shout out to Denoyer Chevrolet. always doing their thing from a business standpoint, helping us. We're helping you. Great relationship. We love it over here. And now we can see the lads down on the field dancing around, really happy with that win. See what it means to them, it being a derby.
Yeah, Miles, they're dancing with Benuelos. He did well today, getting that brace, backing the team out of injury. But a great way to incorporate himself back into the side to get that brace and give Kalamazoo the points.
Oh, yeah, he's going to pop a bottle of champagne. They love it over there. It's great to see. It's great to see, honestly. Okay, so now next game for Kalamazoo FC. Trust me, everybody, is not one that you're going to want to miss. June 23rd, Kalamazoo FC plays Kings Hammer FC. Now, this will be the second leg of the fixture, just like this one. And when Kalamazoo went to Kings Hammer was winning 2-0 at the end of the first, and then Kalamazoo comes back and ends up winning that game 4-2 because Kings Hammer got a red card. So, if Kings Hammer doesn't end up with an unfortunate red card, it will be a fantastic return leg fixture. But other than that,
yeah, top two teams in the table, Miles.
Right,
Kings Hammer and
exactly.
Kalamazoo FC would be a great match. A lot of you expect Kings Hammer to travel up here from Cincinnati with, a little bad taste in their mouth, going up 2-0, and Kalamazoo stealing a point down there. It really set the tone early on in the season and really got us off on the front foot. In the beginning of the year, by that comeback was a big game for us, a big fixture for Kalamazoo. So definitely going to be a great game, and I'm looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, me too. It'll be a fun game to commentate, nonetheless. So speaking of, just to reiterate and be redundant, because you all out there know I like to, Kalamazoo FC 2, Grand Rapids FC 1 after 97 minutes of play. We've got the next game. You'll be able to hear me and Connor on the broadcast once again, with Caleb Bowers, our producer on the ones and twos, always doing his thing as well. June 23rd, that'll be Kalamazoo FC versus Kings Hammer, 7 p.m. We will see you all then. Have a great night.